So what is up? I'm gonna be doing um two short videos now because I want to uh yeah. So yeah. We reacted to my dead friend sent me a terrifying video. This is my story, which is 10 minutes long, and let's hope I can make this, like not long. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Kiara, and my world came apart when my best friend died and left a horrifying video behind for me. I didn't have a lot of friends
You
growing up,
good,
but
internet?
I always had Sloane. She was the loud one, the funny one, the girl that always lit up the room. But then, when we got into high school, she started being a little withdrawn. She was partying more than ever, and I was desperate to stay friends with her. So, when she wanted to skip class all the time, I
I'm
went with her. Our junior year, we skipped an entire week of our physics class. Every day we went and got food, but Sloane would barely eat. She looked tired and scared, but before I got to ask why, it happened. Our parents found out we had been skipping, and I had my phone and computer taken away. The next few days were some of the most boring of my life. They were made even worse because Sloane wasn't showing up to school. I asked everyone if they knew where she was, but no one had heard a thing. All I wanted to do was text her and ask if everything was good. I was afraid her parents had made her move schools or something. Then the news broke. The principal pulled us all into a room and told us that the police had reason to believe Sloane was dead. Her car had been found in the woods, and there were things inside that made them seriously doubt she was alive. My head was spinning. My best friend in the whole world was dead. She was my
the
one true
frick.
partner in life, and someone
It seems like see, I had like a secret relationship with her, and then soon come out to be, yeah.
had done this to her. I couldn't believe it. When I tried to talk to the police officer to get more information, he wouldn't budge. He asked me if there was anyone that wanted to harm Sloane, but I couldn't think of anyone. No one hated Sloane. I went home completely.
If I were in her position, I think I would say the same thing, cause I couldn't think like no one is gonna, torture, harm that person. Like, yeah, if I were in her position, yeah, that's true. I would say the same thing. Like saying, oh yeah, I don't know who harmed, like, no one would harm, my friend. So yeah, there's the male at least. I would say
Devastated.
I'm not gonna say
After
nothing,
my mom found out what
but
happened,
fucking hate him.
she spent a long time consoling me. I didn't even know that I could cry that hard. By the end of the night, she gave me
Everyone needs
back
to
my
rest, but I'm
electronics
literally recording. I
and
can't.
told me to watch something and
What's
relax.
Netflix?
When I
A.
turned my phone on, I cried even harder. My background was Sloane and I, smiling. I couldn't believe she was gone. A few moments after seeing my background, my blood ran cold. I had a notification from Sloane. My heart raced as I started to play it. It was from the last night I saw her. Apparently, the last night anyone saw her. That's when my world came crumbling down. The video wasn't Sloane talking, it was her dad screaming at her. The video was moving all around her room as they fought with each other. Her dad stood in the doorway, and Sloane looked like she was packing her clothes in a suitcase. But the whole time, her dad was yelling and Sloane was crying. The video got to the end, and I heard her say, "You're going to regret this tomorrow." The last bit of the video was Sloane's face as tears streamed down her cheeks. When the video ended, my blood ran cold. Sloane's father sounded furious. Was it her father who had done this horrible thing to Sloane? I tried to click the video to watch one more time, but that's when I realized how much I messed up. On the app, I could only watch the video one time. Why hadn't I?
So we're gonna be continuing on with this because it got cut off because I have no storage, but I deleted some videos. So here we go.
Surely they'd want to question Sloane's dad. But to my surprise, they laughed when I told them what happened. Sloane's dad had a respectable job in the community. And on top of that, they told me he had an alibi. I tried to tell them with tears in my eyes that they were wrong, but they weren't listening to me. The officers told me to trust their investigation, but I don't
Illuminati.
understand how they expected me to trust them if they weren't taking all the evidence into account. When I went home that night, I had nightmares about Sloane. Every single nightmare was worse than the last. And I swear, I could hear the audio from the video all over again. That morning, I knew I had to get more evidence. After hearing the video, I knew her dad was guilty. Instead of going to school, I stood outside of Sloane's house and waited for her dad to leave for work. The moment he left, I snuck into the house. I knew it was dangerous and I knew I could go to jail, but I had to do it. I had to just find one more piece of evidence that would bring justice for my friend. When I walked into Sloane's room, hundreds of memories came rushing back. Tears stung my eyes and fell over my cheeks as I started going through her things. When I found her diary, I knew it was my best chance. I started flipping through it as quickly as I could. Some of the things were horrible. Towards the end of the book, Sloane was talking about how her dad had become mean when she entered high school. He hadn't been feeding her or taking care of her at all. In fact, he spent all day screaming at her. My heart sank. I had no idea things had been so terrible for Sloane. She never told me. In her last entry, she wrote that she feared her dad was going to do something really bad to her. At that moment, I knew her dad was behind her disappearance. Just as I was about to leave, I heard a bang downstairs as the front door opened. I jumped back and closed the bedroom door, terrified. The only person it could be was her dad. If he caught me in the room with the journal, there's no telling what he would do to me. I dove under the bed, and it was the only thing I could think to do. I was shaking so much I could barely breathe. I heard this heavy footsteps thump up the stairs. I faced the wall away from the door, terrified of seeing the door open. And then I heard it
Okay,
creak
okay.
open. I'd never
Excuse
been
me.
so scared in my life. I was afraid he had seen me sneak into the house. Was he going to do to me what he did to his daughter? The footsteps moved closer to me in what felt like slow motion. I could hear each step creak the floorboards. Then I felt someone kneel down beside the bed. I
Sorry, I
tried to
have to
think
do
of a
that.
way I could fight, a way I could push him away and run out of here. It took all of my willpower to turn around. I
Okay.
took in a deep breath and started to turn. But what I saw wasn't at all what I expected. Sloane was staring back at me, smiling with tears in her eyes. I started to stutter. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My best friend wasn't dead? Without saying anything, I crawled out from under the bed and I hugged her. We cried in each other's arms for a long time. Finally, I managed to ask, "What the heck happened?" I told her everyone thought she was dead. Sloane told me to sit down. She told me everything. Her dad been so horrible lately, she knew she had to get out or something terrible would happen. The night we got caught skipping class, she decided she was going to run away. She purposefully left her car out in the woods with scary evidence so she could get away and start over. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I felt horrible. Sloane hadn't told me what was going on. When I asked why she hadn't told any other adults, she said it was because she was scared of what her dad was going to do. She thought faking her death was her only escape. I held Sloane's hands and told her we needed to go to the police. Her dad would get punished for his behavior, and there was absolutely no reason she had to give everything up. Sloane seemed terrified, but she agreed with me. Together, we went down to the police station and told them everything. They were truly shocked to see Sloane, and they apologized for not listening to me. After hearing about her father's behavior, they decided Sloane's aunt should raise her. Now, Sloane is happy and better than ever. I didn't realize how important those changes in Sloane's behavior were, but I'm glad I could help her get to a happier, healthier place. Now she knows it's best to tell an adult what's going on, and I know how important it is to really talk to my friends about their lives.
Shut up, no. Yeah. So, um, yeah. This might be like two videos, all right? Because I had to upload the Crypt Cipher, the Cookout Cipher reaction today, and then this one as well. So, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the like button down below. So subscribe if you're new. Let's reach 100 subscribers by the end of this month. Alright? So, yeah. Peace.